COVID relief, and now spending $1.2 trillion on a so-called infrastructure bill, much of which is not infrastructure. They now want to move on to Bernie Sanders' socialist budget. I hope Joe Manchin does what he suggested, which is to say, hey, let's kick this till next year. Let's wait until inflation is licked, till we've stopped inflation. Then we can talk about the next package. I think that would show a lot of wisdom.
Sorry, Senator Ted Cruz was on Fox this morning explaining why he wants to put the brakes on the Build Back Better social spending bill with an assist from Senator Joe Manchin. My panel is back with me, Kimberly, Sophia, and Jake. So I don't even want to talk about what Ted Cruz had to say. I want to talk about what Donald Trump had to say to Jonathan Karl about Mike Pence. We've all heard the tape of him basically like, yeah, so they wanted to hang him. I mean, the folks are mad. Well, there's new sound. This one we're going to play is what Donald Trump said to Jonathan Karl about the infamous phone call that Trump and Pence had on January 6th.
There was a report, and excuse my language, not mine, it was in the report, that you talked to him that morning and you said you could be a patriot or you can be a Did you really say that, or is that a incorrect?
I wouldn't dispute it.
Sophia, I wouldn't dispute it.
Listen, Jonathan, we know he likes the P word. He said it before. So that having been said, I'm not surprised at all. And I think that we're just in a sunken, dark place, and we're getting lower and lower. And Mike Pence, is trying to walk this line where he's trying not to be at war with Trump instead of manning up and calling him out and totally and resoundingly rejecting him and his vile language and his desire to have the Constitution subverted. And Pence ought to stand up. But I don't see that happening, and I'm not surprised by this at all. Donald Trump is a sociopath. He is not a well person. He's a narcissist. No, I'm not a therapist, but I have some common sense and I can see, and it's all about him. And if it's not about him, then he does what he does. He turns on everybody and anybody that disagrees with him or doesn't do what he tells them to do. That's just who he is.
Right. And Kimberly, wait, there's more. Here's what Trump had to say to Jonathan Karl about his feelings towards Mike Pence.
If Pence did what you wanted, you think you would still be in the White House?
I think we would have won, yeah.
Can you ever forgive him for that?
I don't know, because I picked him. I like him. I still like him. But I don't know that I can forgive him.
I picked him. I liked him. I don't know if I could forgive him.
Yeah, I mean, that demonstrates what we have seen since Donald Trump descended the escalator those 6 years ago, is that he demands loyalty from everyone around him, loyalty to the end, right, to subverting the constitutional election process. And he will accept nothing else. He gives no loyalty, to be sure. He only demands it and punishes those who don't deliver it, regardless of the situation. I mean, to me, those who are still standing with him, I know power or proximity to it is very tantalizing, but those who are still standing with him should see by example that everyone, even his closest confidants, even those who had his back more than anyone, we can start with Jeff Sessions, at some point he turns on them, and when he does, it's over. And so knowing that their day will be coming one day, perhaps maybe not Steve Bannon, because Steve Bannon is more Trumpy than Trump himself, but just about everyone else, I think that it is perilous to tie your political fortunes to someone who you have seen eat his own time and time again. Even in the case of Mike Pence, he stood with him right up into an insurrection. Like that was his line in the sand, but that still wasn't enough.
Mm-hmm. Jake, not everything on the Sunday shows was about Donald Trump mouthing off about whatever. You had Congressman Jim Jordan, who was on Fox with Maria Bartiromo, talking about that bipartisan infrastructure bill that 13